Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Modern Horizons 2 draft video. Now, I don't know how good Riptide Laboratory is in Limited. There are some wizards, I just don't know if there's any good ones with, like, enter the battlefield effects and such. Inevitable Betrayal, I think, is a decent card. It just is a little slow. I think I'm going to take Flametongue Yearling. The value on Flametongue Yearling is pretty good. It just locks us pretty hard into red, so we'll be playing either red-white or red-black, I think. Yeah, the alternative is taking something like Power Depot and trying to force some kind of artifacts deck, which can work, but we'll take the Yearling. Okay, so red-black is Madness, red-green is Storm, red-white is Modular Artifact Aggro, and red-blue is Delirium. So we could either take the Bridge, Salvaging, Strider, Mind Collapse. I will take Strider. I think Mind Collapse is better, but Strider potentially is like a higher upside. Yeah, we'll take Strider. Alright, we have Caprichrome, which is the artifact payoff for Modular. It's a goat with Flash and Devour Artifact. Other options would be, I guess, Faithless Salvaging. We could take Storm God's Oracle. It just depends on whether we want to be, is it Boros or Rakdos? Scrappling or Salvaging keeps us the most open. I'm going to take Caprichrome. Okay, I think Lightning Spear is the way to go here. Piercing Rays is okay. Seal of Cleansing is not bad either. Lightning Spear is very aggressive and provides value even if there's nothing to equip it to at a reduced rate. Chrome Courier is nice, but I kind of want to try and stay out of 3 colors unless I start getting a lot of fixing, so we'll take the Spear. Alright, I like Prismatic Ending here. Scrappling is also good. Still wanting to stay away from Chrome Courier. We could take Patchwork Gnomes, although I think Prismatic Ending is just better. Yeah, let's take the removal spell. Okay, we have another Caprichrome, a Foundry Helix, which we have nothing in the 3-drop slot yet. And Foundry Helix is a really good card. I don't know how many Caprichromes we want, because it strikes me as an effect that you want 1, maybe 2 of, and we don't have enough enablers for it yet. So let's take the Helix, because that'll be great for reach to kill our opponent when we inevitably peter out a bit. So Guardian Kirin is higher on the curve than I want to go. Marble Gargoyle is just kind of a generic flyer that can gain toughness. I can take Thornglint Bridge, which is a tapped plains for all intents and purposes. Or I could take a Battle Plan, which I'm not thrilled about. I think I'm going to take the Bridge. Although artifact tap lands that aren't red when we have 2 double red spells is a little questionable. It does power up Prismatic Ending, so I'm going to take it. So we have Spreading Insurrection, which is just gain control of a bunch of stuff and attack with it. Or Foundry Helix number 2. I think I'm going to take the second Foundry Helix. It'll be a lot better with modular creatures and such. It's good removal. We can always sack an artifact land we don't need to gain life. I think Foundry Helix is very good in this limited format. Power Depot or Slagwood Bridge. I think I'm going to go with Power Depot. It's another artifact we can sack to Caprichrome. It taps for any color. Oh, actually, I think Slagwood Bridge might be better. Because we have a lot of non-artifact creatures in the form of Slag Strider and Flametongue Yearling with intensive mana requirements. So yeah, I'm going to take the Slagwoods Bridge. It's a little debatable, I think. We could take Angelic Curator, Faithless Salvaging, or Tormod's Crypt Keeper. I think I'm going to take the Crypt Keeper. It's an artifact creature. If we do get a bunch of modular creatures, it's Grave Hate, which basically wins against the Reanimator deck. Let's see, 4 creatures, 2 lands, 4 other... I don't really like Viashino Lashclaw. I think I would rather have Vectis Gloves. Faithless Salvaging is a consideration to help us get through our deck. If you're playing an aggressive deck and your hand is empty and this is the last spell you cast, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to take Vectis Gloves, though. I don't like Galvanic Relay. I guess I will take it for the sideboard, because Resurgent Belief and Abundant Harvest and such really isn't playable in this deck. Abundant Harvest kind of is, because we can splash for green, but... Okay, we'll take Faithless Salvaging here. Another Crypt Keeper is fine, and a Battle Plan. I'll throw Battle Plan in the sideboard. It could potentially be good. Alright. So Urza's Saga is Currently 50 tickets. So we have won this draft twice over. And it's really good in the deck that we started drafting. So let's take an Urza Saga. I don't even care what's in the rest of that pack. I didn't even look. It is unnecessary. Now we're just going to take as many artifacts as we can. Like, strategy be damned. Alright, we got, let's see, Progenitor Ooze, Archfiend of Sorrows, Fodder Tosser, Brainstone, Mind Collapse. Let's take a Slagwoods Bridge. The artifact lands become much more important with Urza Saga because of the size of the creatures it creates. We do need at least one cost artifact or 0-cost artifact, so even if we're playing a Zurin Orb, I guess, would be fine, but let's take the bridge. Okay, in this pack, I kind of like Dragon's Rage Channeler. It should be relatively easy to get Delirium. We have an enchantment land that sacks itself. We have many artifact lands. We have creatures. We have an instance. We don't really have any sorceries yet. And though this doesn't contribute to our primary game plan, it is still a powerful card. The alternative would be to take something like Crack Open or Crew Shock. We'll take the uncommon. Dermotaxi. We don't really have any stuff to reanimate. Flame Blitz is an enchantment we can cycle. So this is effectively a Delirium enabler that draws us a card, with the slight upside of maybe killing a Planeswalker if we encounter one, which is not a bad upside to have, really. We have off-color artifact lands, none of which we particularly need. We already have a Faithless Salvaging, and there's a Gouged Zealot as another creature payoff. I think I'm going to take the Mistvault Bridge for Urza Saga purposes. Strike It Rich is a sorcery that makes an artifact token. It fixes our mana. It adds Delirium for Dragon's Rage Channeler. Not a huge fan of basically anything else I see in this pack. And this card is not great, but it is kind of janky fixing, so we'll take it. We may not play it. We'll see what happens. In this pack, there's a Drossforge Bridge, a Blacksmith Skill, or a Tanglepool Bridge. Let's take the semi-on-color artifact land for... Yeah, because we have a bunch of red stuff. Okay, Rustvale Bridge is directly in our colors. There's a Parcel Mirror, which is kind of outside of it. But we'll take the on-color artifact land. Another Flame Rift. I mean, I have 2 Foundry Helixes. If I can get a bunch of Flame Rifts, we can just kill our opponent with direct damage. Like, we'll have huge beaters if we ever find Urza Saga, which hopefully we do when we're playing. The other option is a Faithless Salvaging, but I think I'm going to take the Flame Rift. We're playing a very almost mono-red aggro sort of strategy. I kind of like Fodder Tosser, but this much direct face damage, having some repeatable damage for reach is pretty good. We're also in red, so the potential does exist for us to get a Madness card or 2. I think I will take Brainstone, because if we can get it for free, it's good. Otherwise, it's in general not that great, because I guess we have Dragon's Rage Channeler, which makes it a little bit better, because we can kind of put cards back we don't want and then surveil them into the grave, but... I guess I take Revolutionist. This is not really a Dihada's Ploy deck. Flame Blitz we can take for the aforementioned Delirium plan. I wouldn't mind a Recalibrate. I think it's better than the other 2 cards, especially in our deck. I'll take Squirrel Mob because I don't have 4 for constructed purposes, and a Tyzerus Charger for the sideboard. Pack number 3. Oh gosh, look at this pack. So there's an Extruder, which is a great creature for us. Lannis is... So Lannis is good. Lannis is actually insane with Urza Saga. The problem is we only have 1 blue artifact land and no blue cards whatsoever. I think we take Extruder. I would not mind a 3rd Foundry Helix, actually. But we need creatures. We only have 7. Yeah, I'm going to take the Extruder here. Bone Shards, Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat actually is really tempting as well. Hopefully Foundry Helix or Unholy Heat comes around, but they probably won't. So we take the Extruder. There's a Gargadon, a Chrome Courier, another Rustvale Bridge, which I kind of want to take for affinity-related reasons. I do not have a lot of... If I put the lands in the sideboard, yeah, I'm going to need to take some non-land permanents. Gargadon is actually quite reasonable as a win condition, because it's huge. You play it off of, like, no mana, and then you win the game with it. Yeah, we'll take a Gargadon. Imperial Recruiter. Now, I don't think Imperial Recruiter is worth anything. I checked not that long ago. Kaleidoscorch is pretty good in this deck. And Arcbound Tracker is okay. We don't really have that much modular stuff going on. It's only a ticket on Moto. We don't really have a bunch of good tutor targets for it either. It can get Flametongue Yearling, Dragon's Rage Channeler. I think I would rather have Kaleidoscorch in this deck. Okay, Bloodbraid Marauder. It kind of looks like we're playing Burn. Like Burn Splash Urza's Saga. I will take it because it's a very aggressive creature. Batterbone's not bad, especially with Urza's Saga tokens. And it is kind of a creature. Delirium doesn't cast a lot of good stuff off of Bloodbraid Marauder for us, so let's take Batterbone, I think. Another Extruder, Fast and Furious, which is a Rummage and then a Wrath. We're not playing Sithis. I don't know if I'm even playing a second Extruder. Do I want the Wrath? I think I do, actually. Captain Ripley Vance. It's a 3-mana 3/2 that if you cast 3 spells... I mean, it's a 3-mana 3/2, and it's in our primary color. We could splash Terramorph, but I don't think there's a reason. Well, let's take Captain Ripley Vance. Harmonic Prodigy. Do we have any... I guess we have Revolutionist. And it is a prowess creature. I mean, we can't just play Mono-Red Burn. Alright. Okay, so we have enough playables, so we can just take Slagwood's Bridge, which is a red artifact land. Otherwise, we take Blacksmith Skill. Let's just take the Slagwood's Bridge. I'm fine taking the Thornglint Bridge. Maybe I take Abundant Harvest? Abundant Harvest, we can Brainstone and then dig past it. We have 4 green sources. I think I'm just going to take the land. Yeah, take the land. Arcbound Tracker is slightly evasive. I think it's better than the Trap Runner. Mog Salvage for the sideboard. Crypt Keeper's fine, but I'm not playing 3. Terramorph into the side. And Crypt Keeper number 4. Well, if we come up against the Reanimator deck, we will be prepared. I may not even be playing Caprichrome. Okay, so set our lands aside for a minute. Group creatures separately. We do not have that many creatures, so I think the Wrath can be sideboard. Prismatic Ending is definitely main deck. Vectis Gloves can be sideboard. We technically have all 5 colors of mana. White, green, red, black, and blue, but it would require a bunch of our... It would require both Mistvault Bridge and Drossforge Bridge for us to do that. I don't think we need Strike It Rich. And we might want Flame Blitz. We do not have that many sorceries, but we do have a couple. Flame Blitz is literally just a think twice for us. Okay, so combine groups, and then let's add Urza's Saga, then add basics. This wants us to play 3 white sources and a bunch of red sources. Replace a mountain with a Rustvale Bridge. Replace 3 mountains with Slagwood Bridge. Replace 2 plains and a mountain with Thornglint Bridge. Replace a mountain with Drossforge Bridge. And then replace a mountain with Mistvault Bridge. Alright, let's try it out. Mono Red Burn in Limited with Urza's Saga. Let's do it. Alright. Almost. But we got a mulligan. We can't keep a 1-lander. Did I play 4 Tormod's Crypt Keeper? I feel like I did. I can keep this. We're going to put back Revolutionist. Opponent leads on Mountain. We lead on Drossforge Bridge. We need our opponent to play a creature so we can Yearling it down. Opponent plays a Plains. We untap. Draw Slagwood Bridge. Play that. I can't hardly talk. All these words are tough to pronounce. Opponent suspends a Gargadon. We untap. Oops. Play a Mountain. Play Crypt Keeper. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Gargadon ticking down. They play a mountain. And they play a Gouged Zealot. Untapped land, please. Well, that's a tap land. Play the Slagwoods Bridge, go to combat. Attack for 3. Opponent does not block. Play another Crypt Keeper, pass the turn. Gargadon ticking down to 2. They play a Flametongue Yearling, killing a Crypt Keeper. Then they do not attack. We untap, we draw another Crypt Keeper. So kick this once. Kill the Gouged Zealot. Go to combat, attack for 3. Opponent trades. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play Disciple of the Sun, getting back Flametongue Yearling. We untap and draw Kaleidoscorch. They can kick it twice. So that'd be 4 damage. I could play Extruder. I think I will, because that threatens to kill Gargadon if they attack with it. I don't think I attack into the lifelink here. Opponent is going to Unholy Heat. So sack a Slagwoods Bridge, put a counter on it. Pass the turn. Gargadon coming off Suspend. So we want to sack Extruder to its own ability. They go to combat. They attack with Gargadon. So we chump with Yearling. Well, we don't chump, we're actually going to trade. So we put a counter on Yearling, sacking Extruder to its own ability because we can no longer pay the Echo cost. Opponent has a Mind Collapse. That is extremely bad for us, because we have no way to answer that Gargadon now. That's going to come down too late. They got a Yearling in hand, so let's go ahead and scoop. Alright, let's hope for an Urza's Saga hand in the second round here. I don't think we want any of the cards we have in our grave, or in our sideboard, I mean, graveyard. Yeah, run it back. Even if I 0-3 this draft, I think getting the Urza's Saga makes it worth it. Alright, I'll play first. I will keep this. Lead on Thornglint Bridge, pass the turn. So I think we're going to play a Mountain and then play Batterbone. Definitely doing that. It was a little bit difficult considering whether we were going to play one of our 3-drops or we were going to play Batterbone. But drawing the second untapped land makes that all fine. Opponent immediately Unholy Heats the token. They suspend a Gargadon. We untap and draw Crypt Keeper. Play Arcbound Tracker. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Gargadon going from 4 to 3. They play Liquimetal Torque. We untap and draw Caprichrome. Play Slagwoods Bridge. Play Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Get in for 2. Opponent untaps. Gargadon ticking down to 2. They play a Mountain. They play a Gouged Zealot. We untap, we draw another Crypt Keeper. We cannot equip, so play another Crypt Keeper. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Okay, Gargadon taken down to 1. 3 mana, opponent plays Knighted Mirror. We untap, we draw Slag Strider, which we will play. I'm also going to cast Flame Rift because that takes my opponent to 9. Actually, yeah, we're going to do that because I think that forces my opponent to block. But it triggers Arcbound Tracker, putting another counter on it. Go to combat. Attack for 9. Opponent trades with a Crypt Keeper and trades with a Crypt Keeper. That's fine. They take 3 and go to 6. Pass the turn. They untap, Gargadon coming off suspend. They play a mountain. They play an Arcbound Whelp. Then they pass. We untap. We draw Harmonic Prodigy. I can make a really big Caprichrome. Let's play a Crypt Keeper. And pass the turn.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So opponent's turn. They play Disciple of the Sun, which can get back Knighted Mirror. We untap. We draw a mountain. So play a mountain. I can only ping them 5 times this turn, which is not enough. But if I play Caprichrome and I sack Crypt Keeper to block Disciple of the Sun, I think I can actually just kill them with direct damage before they can gain life. So pass the turn. Opponent untaps it, draws. They go to combat. They attack for 3. We block. Ping our opponent. They don't gain any life. Opponent plays a Knighted Mirror, then passes. So flash in Caprichrome, sacking nothing. Untap. We draw a Thornglint Bridge, so play that. Ping our opponent. Ping our opponent. Ping our opponent. Ping our opponent. And ping our opponent. Nice. Alright, on to game 3. I didn't see if they were playing tap lands or not. Just gonna run it back. Alright, I will keep this. Opponent leads on Mountain, plays Scrapling. I'll play the bridge, pass the turn. Opponent plays Liquimetal Torque, hits us for 1. We untap and draw an Arcbound Tracker. Play Slagwood's Bridge, pass the turn. So next turn we want to suspend Gargadon. Unless they play something we need to kill immediately with Flametongue Yearling. They play a Mountain. 3 mana, they play Knighted Mirror. Which we cannot kill with Flametongue, Flametongue Yearling. Because they can just sack the other mirror to kill it. We draw a Mountain, play Thornglint Bridge, suspend Gargadon, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. If they tap out, we can multi-kick Yearling once. Okay, that's not going to work now. So they hit us for 7. We untap. Gargadon ticks down to 3. We draw Extruder. We can play the Yearling and force them to activate the Mere Scrappling now. That way they don't have double strike on their turn and we can just like chump with a Batterbone token. Because if we play and kick Flametongue Yearling, they just put a counter on Knighted Mirror. So play the Yearling. No kicking. Kill the Scrappling. Okay. They put a counter on it. It gains double strike. Play Batterbone. Make a 1/1. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Actually, I think I'm going to chump with the Yearling. If I end up playing Extruder next turn, I could make a really big Germ token, potentially. Ah, that is a problem. So take 5 in the air. If they have a way to put a 1/1 counter on it, we lose. Okay. Untap. Gargadon taken down to 2. We draw a Revolutionist. Then we will play Thornglint Bridge. Play Extruder. Opponent is going to Unholy Heat the Germ token. Okay. Extruder resolves. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 2. This is far less than ideal. The problem is I have to determine what I'm going to do with this extruder before I draw a card for turn. Opponent hits us for 5. If I sack any of my lands, I cannot equip Batterbone. If I pay the Echo cost, I can't equip Batterbone. If I sack Extruder and equip Batterbone, I'll die exactly. Maybe it was better to have played Arcbound Tracker last turn. So what I might have to do... I might have to sack a land and sack Extruder, then hope to draw an untapped land to win. I think that's the play. Have Extruder sack itself. If I get a Prismatic... if I get Prismatic, I can kill my opponent. Flame Rift. That does not do it. So... salvaging. Discard Tracker. We get a bridge. Yep. It's because of that stupid scrappling. That killed us. Alright, yeah, I might have been able to get away with that had I played the Tracker instead of the Extruder that turn. No, because I wouldn't have been able to sack it. I was trying to set up to equip. I don't think we were winning. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright, round 2 will be on the draw. It's a turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler with a bunch of other stuff, so we're going to keep. Opponent leads on Goldmire Bridge. We draw Slagwoods Bridge. Play Dragon's Rage Channeler, pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain into an Arcbound prototype. We draw Gargadon. Play Slagwoods Bridge, pass the turn. Opponent plays an Ethereum Spinner and attacks for 2. No blocks. We untap. Draw Mist Vault Bridge. Play the Drossforge Bridge. Suspend Gargadon. Pass the turn. Actually, maybe should have attacked there. Opponent goes to combat, attacks for 2. We take 2 and go to 16. Opponent plays another Arcbound prototype. We untap, Gargadon ticking down. Draw Thornglint Bridge. So, play Thornglint Bridge. Play Arcbound Tracker. Pass the turn. Next turn we're taking a bunch of damage. Because we probably have to cast Flame Rift. Kind of hoping my opponent stays aggressive so we get in one good hit. Opponent attacks for 4. They hit us for 4. We untap, Gargadon ticks down to 2. We draw Mountain. It doesn't change what we do this turn, I don't think. Play Lightning Spear. We get to Surveil. Thornglint Bridge into the grave. Then we cast Flame Rift. Counter on Tracker. If we can surveil anything that isn't an artifact, land, or sorcery into the grave, we can turn on Dragon's Rage Channeler. That is a creature. I think it's better in the grave here, actually. So shoot our opponent for 4. Go to combat. Hit them for 6. The problem is we're taking 6 next turn. And we're only hitting them for 7. I guess we have lethal. If they have no way to interact, we have lethal. Never mind, we're just dead. And it's Foundry Helix for you. Okay. I think I'm going to play Strike It Rich over Flame Rift, maybe? Actually, no, I want the Wrath. I want the Wrath in. And I think I'm going to cut... Yeah, I'm gonna cut Flame Rift. Harmonic Prodigy can stay. I just realized I'm... No, never mind. I was going to say, not running that many white sources, but I kind of am. And it's biting me right now. Alright, well, we'll keep. Unfortunately, no second red source, which this should have been a mountain, because that's what we replaced with it. Play Thornglint Bridge, pass the turn. Want to plays an Arcbound Mouser. We draw a Lightning Spear, play Mistvault Bridge, pass the turn. Want to plays a mountain into an Arcbound Prototype. We take 1, they gain 1, then we untap. We draw another Crypt Keeper. Play Crypt Keeper. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They attack for 2, no blocks. Take 2. They play a tap land. And they pass. We untap. Draw Thornglint Bridge. Play the bridge. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Okay, opponent no blocks. I'm going to play Lightning Spear. Now, I could have equipped it, but I'm kind of faking that I have some kind of combat trick. I want my opponent to play out a couple more creatures so we can Furious them, but we need to draw red mana for that. They attack us for 2. That's fine. They play a tap land. We untap. We draw plains. I could fast ditching this plains to try and draw a mountain. But then I'm giving up on the Furious plan. Let's equip and swing, because we're definitely doing that. Go to combat. I think we do have to give up on the Wrath plan if we're going to try and actually fight this. They have a Foundry Helix. They sacked a Plains. Exile their grave. I don't think they're gaining life, but who knows? They might have a Delirium card. Okay, second main. Play a Plains. Play Crypt Keeper. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Plains. They break ties to kill the Crypt Keeper. They hit us for 3. We go to 12. Untap. We draw Prismatic Ending. Play Crypt Keeper number whatever. Equip. We just need to draw a second red mana, which is our primary color. But if we do, we can Prismatic Ending to kill one of the prototypes Or we can use Prismatic Ending to kill the prototype and then snipe the Mouser. No blocks. Take 2 and go to 10. We untap. We draw Caprichrome. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Opponent no blocks. They take 4. Okay, we're going to Prismatic Ending. Then pass the turn. I could have technically only paid 2. Probably should have, because that stops me from casting Fast or sacking Spear, but I don't really want to do either of those things yet. Opponent plays a Steel Dromedary. Moves a counter over to the Mouser. We untap. We draw a Tracker. Still cannot, for the life of us, draw this second red mana. Kill the Mouser. This puts both counters onto the Steel Dromedary, which can't untap until all the counters are gone. They also can't modular onto other things, but they can move one at a time. Hit them for 3. Opponent Lens Flares, so exile their grave. Okay. Opponent untaps. They play a land. They got nothing to move counters to, which is good news for us. We finally draw another mountain. Play the mountain. Play the Tracker. Pass the turn. We can kick Flametongue Yearling twice, which makes it a Flametongue Kavu. I have nowhere to move the counters. I think if I draw a land, I'm going to fast to ditch it. Well, I could fast if I run out of cards. Okay, we draw Foundry Helix. Go to combat. Attack my opponent for 2. They take 2 and go to 13. Pass the turn. Opponent is going to play a Caprichrome. They don't sack anything. Sure. They go to combat. They move a counter over. Play our own Caprichrome. Sack Tracker. Modular here. Then block. I didn't sack any lands, even though I could have made it bigger, because then I can't kick Flametongue Yearling multiple times if I need to. We untap and draw Dragon's Rage Channeler, play it. Go to combat. Attack for 5. We have Artifact, Creature, and Sorcery in the grave, which means if I Foundry Helix, Dragon's Rage Channeler is enabled. Opponent plays a land, has nowhere to move the counters. So on their end step, sack Mistvault Bridge, Surveil, put it on top. Okay. We got there. Still have not seen Urza's Saga. I am playing it, so I haven't made that mistake today. I'm going to bring in Vectis Gloves. Actually, no, I don't think I am. I don't have really enough creatures to make that work. Like enough low to the ground creatures. If I had a couple more 1-drops, it'd be a lot more reasonable. Especially if I had any Arcbound Mousers. Alright, I will keep this because this is a turn 2 Suspend Gargadon, and we have Prismatic Ending to buy time. Opponent starts Mistvault Bridge. We draw Foundry Helix, also good for buying time. Play Thornglint Bridge, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains, passes. We draw Harmonic Prodigy. Suspend Gargadon, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a mountain, then pass. Gargadon starts ticking down. We draw another Foundry Helix, play Slagwood's Bridge, play the Prodigy, pass the turn. You know, I just realized this doubles prowess triggers. If an ability of a shaman or wizard you control triggers, it triggers an additional time. A shaman or another wizard. So if you make this thing a shaman, it doubles its own prowess triggers. Not sure why or how you'd do that, but you could. Play Lightning Spear. Prowess. Equip. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 3. They take 3 and go to 17. They flash in a Caprichrome, not sacking anything. They untap. They play an Extruder, and then they pass. We untap, Gargadon ticking down to 1. We draw Dragon's Rage Channeler. So play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. So Foundry Helix. Sacking Slagwood's Bridge. We get to Surveil twice. This has Trample, so if they sack it to itself, we still deal damage to them. Mountain. Do we want a mountain right now? I don't think we do. Mountain into the grave. Fodder Tosser, also into the grave. Prowess. Opponent takes 3. Goes to 14. We pass to them. They untap. If they play anything that Prismatic Ending hits, we definitely get Delirium. They attack us for 3 because it has Vigilance. That's fine. We untap. Gargadon's coming off Suspend. I guess I could also just cast Fast and ditch Prismatic Ending, but getting rid of my premium removal does not seem like a smart plan. We draw Slag Strider. You know what? I am going to cast Fast, and I'm going to ditch Slag Strider. So Surveil. Bridge. I don't really want a 4th land. Not yet. I'll probably draw one. Mountain. Mountain can go to the grave. Prowess trigger. Ditch Slag Strider. We get a Thornglint Bridge. Play it. Go to combat. And attack for 13. They're going to recalibrate, making us pick up Gargadon. Then they're going to take 6. Going to 8. If we draw another untapped land, we can play Batterbone and then sack the token on it just to deal 4 damage to our opponent. Opponent passes. We untap. Draw Flame Tongue Yearling, which we will kick. Kill Caprichrome. They Foundry Helix, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Go to combat. Hit them for 2. Opponent plays Arcbound Prototype, and then Land Cycle Sojourner's Companion for some weird reason. We untap. Draw planes. Play planes. Play Batterbone. Prowess trigger. Then we can go white-green. Prismatic Ending Arcbound Prototype. Another Prowess trigger. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 7. They go to 3, and they're dead to Foundry Helix. Opponent untaps. It seems like they drew basically nothing, though. So, alright, we win the match. On to round 3. I'll see you guys there. Alright, we're on the draw for round 3. I think this hand is okay. It's not amazing. If we don't draw anything in the first couple turns, we can Faithless Salvaging to try and draw something we can cast, or mana that will allow us to cast something. Okay, we draw Plains, which is good. Lead on Slagwood's Bridge, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain, suspends Gargadon. We draw Foundry Helix, play Drossforge Bridge, pass the turn. Gargadon starts ticking down. Opponent plays a Mountain into a Viashino Lashclaw. We draw Slagwood's Bridge, play Plains, play Cryptkeeper, pass the turn. Gargadon ticks down. They play a Mountain, they play a Lightning Spear. They equip. Do we trade? I think we do. But we need to find an answer for this Gargadon. We draw Thornglint Bridge, and that's not it. Play Thornglint. Faithless Salvaging. Ditch Extruder. Get a Foundry Helix. Well, in theory, we could double Foundry Helix. Opponent Faithless Salvagings, ditches a land. Then plays a Cabal Initiate. We untap. Faithless Salvaging coming in off the rebound. Discard Caprichrome. We get an Urza's Saga. So, play Saga. I was worried we weren't going to see it this game. Play Cryptkeeper. Prismatic Ending. White-green. Pass the turn. Gargadon coming off suspend, and our opponent looting away their last card with Faithless Salvaging. Or they choose not to, I guess. Okay. Gargadon coming in. They're going to attack us for 7. That's fine. Take 7. Equip Lightning Spear. We untap. Draw another Cryptkeeper. Urza's Saga gains its primary mode of killing our opponent. Play Slagwood's Bridge. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks for 8. So, make a token. Opponent is going to sack Lightning Spear to kill Cryptkeeper. That still leaves it as a 5/5. Okay, they have a Mind Collapse then. So we're going to take 7. Go to 5. Untap. Make a Construct. We draw Brainstorm. We draw the one card we can actually go tutor for. Oh, that's so lame. Alright. Pass the turn. We might need a Foundry Helix to survive. Hopefully our opponent does not have another removal spell that can kill this construct. Wow. Okay. So, Foundry Helix our opponent's face. Red, white, white. Sack the construct. But now the question is, do we have another way to deal with Gargadon? I guess if I draw Kaleidoscorch, but it has to be exactly that. It is not. Play a Mountain. Play Cryptkeeper. Pass the turn. If I block with Cryptkeeper and I Foundry Helix, sacking Slagwood's Bridge, I stay alive at 1. But we are just dead to anything that my opponent does. They have 2 cards in hand as well. They play a land. They play a Gouged Zealot. We untap and draw Lightning Spear. Play Lightning Spear. Kill the Zealot. Pass the turn. We're just by the skin of our teeth right now. Opponent does nothing. We untap and draw Mountain. Play a Mountain. Play Brainstone. Brainstone lock ourselves. Put back Dragon's Rage Channeler and Flametongue Yearling. Play Captain Ripley Vance. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Legion Vanguard. We untap. Draw Flametongue Yearling. Multi-kick twice. Kill Legion Vanguard. This might be it. We might be coming back. Hit our opponent for 3. They untap. They play a Vermin Gorger, but if they have another creature, we just die. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Opponent takes 4 and goes to 6. Play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass the turn. We die to any creature or burn spell. Opponent plays a land. And they drew the land to play the Curator. Oh, we were so close! Our top deck was Slag Strider, which would have finished our opponent off, too. Because we would have swung, they wouldn't have been able to block everything. And... sad day. Run it back. Yeah, Urza's Saga did not look very good there. Between a Mind Collapse and a Bone Shards. But we will play first. I think this hand is bad. This hand is a lot better. So I will keep, and I'm going to put back Crypt Keeper, I think. Lead on Channeler. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain. We draw Plains. Play a Plains. Play Batterbone. Scry. Or Surveil. Faithless Salvaging. I'm going to put in the grave. I don't really want to draw Faithless Salvaging. Hit our opponent for 1. Opponent goes to 19. They untap. They play a Swamp. They suspend Gargadon. We untap, draw Brainstone. So play a Mountain. Play Tracker. Go to combat. Attack for 2. They play a Skophos Reaver. We untap. Draw Thornglint Bridge. So play Brainstone. Surveil. Crypt Keeper. Put in the grave. Activate Brainstone. Put back Thornglint Bridge and Rustvale Bridge. Play Slagwoods Bridge. Hit them for 2 with Menace. Opponent untaps. They play a land. They attack us for 4. Chump with the token. Go up to 22. Opponent plays a Gouged Zealot. Untap. We draw Rustvale Bridge. Play it. Foundry Helix. The Gouged Zealot. Sack Rustvale Bridge. I kind of want the 5th land to equip Batterbone, but I think I need to put this in the grave, because we need to draw like more burn to keep up with this. Gargadon. Hit our opponent for 5. Gargadon ticks down. If I draw an untapped land, I can just equip Batterbone, which would be sick. They play Lightning Spear, which they'll probably just immediately kill Dragon's Rage Channeler with. They hit us for 4, take us to 22. We draw Slagwoods Bridge, play it, go to combat, attack for 2, take our opponent to 8, pass to them. They're going to cast a Gargadon for free. If they cast a removal spell, we'll flash in Caprichrome, because it's a big life-linking attacker when equipped with a Batterbone. So opponent attacks us for 11. We go to 11. They play a Loathsome Curator, which they will sack for. Play Caprichrome. Have it eat the Arcbound Tracker. More counters on Caprichrome. We untap. We draw a Fodder Tosser. Suit up the Goat. Go to combat. Hit them for 6. Opponent does not block. If they don't gain life and they don't kill us, they die to Fodder Tosser next turn. They Terminal Agony to kill the Goat. They attack us for 7. Take 7, go to 10, untap. Draw Drossforge Bridge. Alright, we're gonna Fodder Tosser and throw a bridge at our opponent. Nice. It's that little extra bit of reach. Yeah, I guess we just run it back. That Gargadon is so hard for us to answer. Alright, well we have both colors of mana. Kaleidoscorch. I mean, having Brainstone is not great, but it's really only in here as a Urza Saga target. Lead on Thornglint Bridge, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp, plays a Lash Claw, we untap, draw Flame Tongue Yearling, Kaleidoscorch, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp, plays a Lightning Spear. We draw Slagwood's Bridge, play the Bridge, play the Brainstone, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain, plays a Lightning Spear. We untap, draw Gargadon, suspend Gargadon, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Gouged Zealot. We untap, Gargadon ticking down. Draw Rustvale Bridge, and I really don't want to give up any lands to cast this Helix, so I think I'm going to cast Helix and sack Brainstone. Brainstone's kind of a risky proposition when we don't have a way to manipulate our top deck. Pass the turn. If they play something big, we can Flame Tongue Yearling to kill it. I mean, if it has 3 toughness or less, opponent suspends their own Gargadon. We untap, Gargadon ticking down to 2. We draw Dragon's Rage Channeler. Play Channeler. Play Crypt Keeper. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps, Gargadon ticking down to 3. It might be too late for our opponent, though. Opponent sacks Lightning Spear to hit to kill Crypt Keeper. Gargadon ticks down to 1. We draw Plains. Play a Plains. I could flashback Kaleidoscorch, but if I do, Dragon's Rage Channeler loses its, I guess, enraged status. I don't know. Play Arcbound Tracker. Hit our opponent for 3. They go to 17. They untap. Gargadon ticks down to 2. They kill the tracker now. And it looks like they're going to Bone Shards to kill... Yep. Ditching a Swamp. We untap. Gargadon coming off Suspend. We draw... Captain Ripley Vance. Play Crypt Keeper. Go to combat. Hit them for 7. We can flashback to hit them for 3. Because we only have red, green, and white mana. Gargadon ticks down to 1. Opponent casts a Terminal Agony. They play a Swamp. We untap, draw Drossforge Bridge. That increases the damage that Kaleidoscorch does. It also lets us kick Flame Tongue Yearling up to 4 damage. Hit our opponent for 3, take them to 7. They untap, Gargadon coming off Suspend. They play Crypt Keeper. Go to combat. And they pass. We untap. We draw Batterbone. So multi-kick this twice. We'll kill Crypt Keeper, then attack. And then if we untap without them exiling our grave, we have Kaleidoscorch to kill them. Hit them for 3, take them to 4. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Legion Vanguard, then passes. We untap. Draw Slagwood's Bridge. Kaleidoscorch our opponent. Black, white, red, green, green. Hey, we got there! Man, that was the least impressive Urza Saga draft we've, or Modern Horizons 2 draft containing Urza Saga, that I think we've ever had. I mean, out of the two, anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The last few times have been earlier than that. And, yeah. You're all wonderful human beings. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye! Hey, just wanted to give a shout out to my patrons for the month of June. If you want to have your name show up in this list, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description below. Thank you all.